This is the Creature Commandos character tier list, and let's just jump right into it. GI Robot, if I'm going to base this off just every character in all fiction, books, movies, video games, GI Robot has a pretty interesting backstory, and it's actually pretty tragic, although I think it was pretty predictable that it was going the neo-Nazi route, and that's who was going to find him in that museum. But I do think it's cool that James Gunn has said he's going to be kind of what's found in the Metalman. I could see him being the basis for Amazo. However you want to pronounce that character. I bet James Gunn uses him, maybe even a future season of Creature Commandos. But I'm going to put GI Robot into A tier. I don't think he quite gets up into S tier. There's nothing that nuanced about him, and he's not super iconic. And I'll probably put Dr. Phosphorus as well into A tier. I think he also has a very tragic backstory with his parents. You get introduced to Gotham in that, which kind of parallels us over. We get to see Batman's introduction to the DCU, which was a really cool introduction. I think it nails down kind of what Batman should represent. If it's like a historic, if Batman's been in Gotham for a decent amount of his history now, people would be scared, like when he's the crime boss and the lights turn off and he looks up and sees them. So I'm just going to parallel that into Batman. I'm just going to put him into C tier as an average character because, yes, it was really cool to get to see him and see how other characters fear Bruce already in this universe, but we didn't get really anything about him. But it's Batman, so yeah, I can't put him in doo-doo butter, but I just think he's an average character. Like I said, this tier list, it goes into all characters across everything. So like an example for S tier, like Katniss Everdeen or Darth Vader, something like that, complete S tier character. So it's really hard to get up there. It's not just for the show itself. Cersei has been an all-right villain, and overall I think she's been C tier. Now, at the time of making this video, the finale has not come out yet. This first 6 episodes have been the only ones that have been released. It's kind of cool that she can see into the future a little bit. I think she's manipulating them. I think she kind of let Weasel beat her up to show that she was weaker so she could get in and trick Waller. If that is true, then it could move her up into B tier, but as for right now, she's going into C tier. I think it's cool that we get introduced to Themyscira in this way. Rick Flag Sr., I think will also go into A tier. He's a pretty dang cool character. I was pretty sad for him when he got killed by Clayface. He has a sus relationship with the princess, which makes it interesting at least. I'm not going to say if I like that or not, but it is definitely interesting. And coming to the only character that I think is S tier in Creature Commandos so far is Frankenstein's monster. I'll just call him Frankenstein so it's easier for people. I think he is an S tier character. I think the writing is super tragic. Like most of the characters, I'm just beating a dead horse at this point using that word, but it's super sad to see what he's went through, to see how he was technically actually protecting the bride from Frankenstein, because Frankenstein was doing some messed up things with the bride, which is technically, if you think about it, his daughter. That's really, really weird. He ends up killing his father, which, you know, it's just an interesting situation. I think he's the funniest character in the show. I think all of his jokes land, and it's Frankenstein. Like, he's just a cool character in general. I think they've executed him perfectly. Now, going into this close is the bride. I think the bride is kind of the main focal point of the Creature Commandos right now. She's the leader of the group. She's really cool. She has a really cool power set. All of her action scenes have just been phenomenal, and I think she easily can move up in this, especially with more seasons to come in Creature Commandos. I just don't think she's quite as funny as Frankenstein or as cool as him, and has as tragic, I know, I'm sorry, as a backstory right now. Weasel, I'm also going to put Weasel into A tier because we've actually seen him before in The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, and he was interesting in there, but we got a lot of backstory with him, with the children that he was trying to save, and then we had the worst cops of all time literally just shooting at him instead of saving a little girl. That's terrible. I think it will be interesting going into the season finale with him thinking the little girl that he saved looks like the princess. I know we're about to get some really interesting stuff there. He's got some pretty funny moments, and he's just a likable dog-like character. The princess herself, I'm going to put her into B. I think she's just the generic hot damsel in distress. That's what we've gotten so far. I can't really say too much about her, but I will put her in there because she has moved the plot forward a lot and has been an integral part to the show. Her minion is kind of the classic comic relief character. I forgot what this guy's name is. I want to say Lexi, but I know I'm just thinking that because of the Thunderbolts character. Scarlett Johansson thing. Why? Black Widow's dad. Yes, there we go. Black Widow's dad. His name is Alexi, and they kind of remind me of each other. Nina, I think, has been the worst Creature Commando so far, but we also haven't gotten her episode. She's definitely the nicest and has the best heart, but we don't know what's gone on with her at the time of making this. You cannot get mad at me if later she gets better. This is at the time of making it, before the season finale of season 1 has come out. So yes, I'm going to put her in B tier. She's a nice character. She's kind of the glue for the bride and some of the other characters. Kind heart there. Amanda Waller has been in a lot of stuff now. I know the continuity of the DCU. James Gunn said it was going to be really easy to understand for comic book nerds like myself. It is, but for other people, it's going to be confusing because she was in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Now she's in Creature Commandos, and she was also in the other Suicide Squad. But yeah, we've gotten to know her a lot. I would say she's a pretty good villain. That's what I would kind of call her, as a villain. She's she has a presence where you're just like, she annoys the fire out of you. They're trying to do it on purpose, so they've done it extremely well. So I'm putting her an A. And Clayface, as much as I wanted Clayface to be the princess, and that would have been an epic twist, that is not what happened. But there was a twist because he was the professor that lied to Waller to move the events forward about Cersei's vision, which I think makes him interesting. His reveal is really cool, and yeah, I'm gonna put Clayface. I'm gonna put Clayface into C because I think, along with Cersei, they've kind of had the same impact because it was really cool to get to see him. He takes out Rick Flag, kills him supposedly. I guess he's in a coma type thing, but I'm just gonna say kills him, pulls a Bane on him, which I thought was really interesting, and then it's just the reveal that really gets everything going. You realize that this show has a lot more to offer by being an expansive DC universe and not just kind of its own tight-knit thing. And he also pretty much takes down Frankenstein, which is a huge, like, if they were in the middle of nowhere and Frankenstein didn't have the electric plug, he would have basically killed Frankenstein and Rick Flag. So his power levels there are very cool. Let me know what you guys think about my list right here. I think it's pretty perfect. I don't think any of the characters have been bad, and I think there's been only one S-tier character so far. And yeah, just may God bless you and have a phenomenal day. Subscribe to my channel, trying to build a community, especially with DC stuff coming out this year. And see you guys later.